What's up, YouTube? I have this kit here from Science of Speed, and it's to relocate the oil sending unit on the NSX. The issue I've been having is my oil pressure gauge on the car has been fluctuating, and it reads probably 10 to 15 pounds off of what it actually is. The reason for that, they say, is that the sending unit is bolted to the engine, and from the vibration it causes it to go bad. So I ordered this kit from Science of Speed, and it's pretty cool. They're going to give you a new sending unit with the little harness here. They're going to give you the fittings that you need. There's two fittings. They're going to give you this block that the fittings are going to mount into and the hose is going to attach to. And they've got an O-ring, and here's the actual mount for the sending unit. It seems pretty straightforward. I've been reading through the instructions. I didn't see any videos online that would, show this process, so I figured I'd make a short video and show you how it's done. According to the instructions, it is on the front side of the motor here, on this side underneath this expansion tank, and you need to remove this tank and set it out of the way, and then you can get to it. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to see if I can show you where this is. So the plug that you have to undo is right there. I'm shining my light on it. The sending unit is right, let's see if I can get a good view of it. Let's see, there, okay, there it is right there. It's behind this wire. It's that rubber boot is covering it, so it's down underneath. You got to move this harness right here and that one right there, but see that one with the blue wire coming off the top? That is your sending unit, and that blue wire goes over to this connector. That's what has to be disconnected. Then there are two bolts. You can see the top of one of them right there, and then the one underneath. I think they're 8 millimeters. You pull those bolts off and the old one comes out. It's not exactly as easy as the instructions make it out to be. When I was looking through the instructions, I read through several times, and I figured, oh, I'm just going to pull the coolant tank out and it'll be right there. It'll be easy to get to. That is not the case. My car's been sitting. I drove it this morning, so it's still warm, and putting my hands in there, I'm burning one of my hands, so I need to wait a little while for this thing to cool down even more. I thought I'd be okay, but it's still hot. All right, here's the connector disconnected. This is for that wiring harness. This goes to the sending unit. There's the bracket that was bolted to the block. I found it easier just to remove that bolt and take this thing out so I could wrap it around and have more room to kind of get at it. You can see there's some corrosion and stuff on there, so it was a little difficult to get apart. Grab a pair of pliers and pull this little white doodad out, and that's how the wire is left inside. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lift up that little tab, pull this wire out from the back, and we'll have this thing free to put our new wire through. So you're going to push up on that pin from the bottom and then push down to get it to slide out. You want to slice this top rubber piece just ever so slightly so that you can open it up and you'll be able to pull this boot straight off this wire. Here it is assembled. The rubber boot slid over the sending unit, and I trimmed just enough to get the top portion through and get the wire on. So here's the block with the fitting, and that's about as far in as it needs to go. It's going to be tight, so don't crank on it and think that it needs to be flush, because it doesn't. You can see here in the instructions they show you same deal. So just like that. Same with the sending unit. It just threads on just like that, and it's pretty tight. You don't need to crank on it. Here are the two bolts that removed from the old one, and you're going to reuse them through the block, and the block is what's actually going to attach to the engine. These are actually 12 millimeter heads, and depending on your wrench, mine, it felt a little loose and I kept questioning it, but it is a 12, so you'll be fine. They're going to give you the O-ring. That's what was in that little bag. Just make sure you press it in there. Make sure it's pressed in really tight, because if you don't get it in there tight and you start trying to put this thing in and it falls out and you don't see it, that's no bueno. So make sure it's pushed in there good. It fits pretty tight anyway. You shouldn't have a problem. Now it's time to put it on the motor. Here's one of your pro tips. There is this bracket right here. And you want to remove this bolt right here. It looks like a Phillips head, but you can get an 8 on it. Just so you can get this out of the way so that you have room, and disconnect this sensor right here so that you have room to move your hand around in there, and then you can see where that block is. Right here is the new block. There's the block, and that block was kind of tough to get to. So you got to make sure that O-ring's still on there and it stays on, and then I put the top bolt in first. It just went in a little easier for me, and then I snuck the bottom one in. But either way, this is going to be a pain in the ass. Go ahead and move that bracket out of the way as much as you can. Just kind of give yourself some room. Another pro tip, don't drive your car within, I'd say, at least 2 to 3 hours of trying to do this, because even though it wasn't super hot, the engine is still pretty warm, and the way you have to reach your hands in there, your hand's going to be stuck down in there, and it's fine at first, but after a second or two, it's going to start burning your hands. So you're going to end up with burned, swollen hands like I do. You know, I'm the type of person that just kind of wants to get in there and get it done. I should have waited until this thing was totally cooled down, but whatever. I'm on the home stretch now. It's just a matter of assembling the hose and then putting everything back the way it was. There it is, all installed. So you kind of have to take that bracket off on the wiring harness here, because there's not enough room with that new little wire they give you to put it back in the stock position. But you can see the hose runs all the way down to that block. I kind of positioned it away from, I think these are cooling lines, but they get really hot, and then you've got the head right there. So I just want to try to keep everything away from it as much as possible. Time to put the cooling tank back in, and then we'll give her a start and cross our fingers that it worked. And the tank is back in, and then you just pop this hootis back in here like so, and you're good. Time to start it up and hope that everything worked as it should, and we should have good oil pressure showing on the gauge. And there we go. Look at that. Perfect. Jumped right up. All right, success. That took way longer than I ever thought it would. I thought it was, maybe I'm just unrealistic these days, but I seriously thought that was going to take like an hour and a half or so tops. That probably put me at least 2 hours. I know, if not more. But whatever, it's done. It works. I'm happy. I hope that this helps some of you guys that are gonna put this kit on your car. Make sure the engine's cool. Don't try to work on it, even if it feels warm. You're gonna burn your hand. Just wait it out. The bolts down low to remove the old sending unit are 12 millimeter. The bolts for the stock coolant tank are 10 millimeter. And that's really all you'll need. You know, once you start putting your fittings together, you'll need a couple different wrenches, but you know, if you have basic tools, you can do this job, no problem. So get out there, get wrenching on your car. Thanks so much for watching. Stay hungry, stay foolish.